Welcome back to the channel Coins Buyers, Coin Enthusiasts and Treasure Hunters. If you're passionate about rare coins and love learning about hidden gems that might just be sitting in your pocket change, then you're in the right place. Today's video is going to blow your mind because we are diving deep into one of the most talked about era coins in modern numismatic history, the astonishingly rare and incredibly valuable 1996 D. Lincoln 1-cent coin from the United States, a humble penny that has stunned collectors and experts alike by being worth an unbelievable $17 million. Yes, you heard that right, $17 million for a coin with a face value of just 1 cent. So, grab your magnifying glasses, and let's go on a journey to uncover the mystery, the mistakes, the mint errors, and all the unique factors that catapulted this ordinary-looking coin into the world of ultra-valuable rarities. To understand the insane value of the 1996 D penny, we need to go back and take a closer look at the context in which this coin was minted. Produced at the Denver Mint, denoted by the D mint mark under the year, the 1996 D penny was part of the standard issue of Lincoln cents that have been in circulation since 1909, initially released to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. These pennies have seen changes in composition and design over the years, but by the 1990s, they had largely settled into their familiar form, either Lincoln Memorial reverse design with Lincoln's bust on the obverse. However, the particular coin that sparked headlines and shocked the numismatic community wasn't just any 1996 D penny. It was a coin that somehow escaped the rigid quality controls of the US Mint with multiple unusual and rare characteristics. For starters, this coin exhibited an extreme off-center strike, meaning it was not properly aligned during the minting process. Off-center strikes can vary in severity, but the more off-center the coin, the rarer and more valuable it becomes, especially when the date and mint mark are still visible, as is the case with this legendary specimen. But that's just the beginning. The $17 million 1996 D penny also suffered from a highly unusual double-die obverse error, where the image on the front of the coin appears duplicated due to a misalignment of the coin die during the minting process. This causes a doubling of the features like the date, the word liberty, and the phrase "In God We Trust," all of which show a ghost-like shadow that is unmistakably different from normal wear or post-mint damage. Coin experts classify such doubling as a result of the hubbing process during die creation, and extreme examples can raise the coin's value exponentially. Now combine that with a die crack running across Lincoln's face and a clipped planchette where part of the coin's edge is missing due to a malfunction during the blank cutting process, and you start to understand how this one coin became a numismatic marvel. But there's more. The mint mark itself, that little D's under the year, appears to be repunched. This means it was struck more than once during production, with the secondary D slightly offset, creating a visible doubling effect that is highly sought after by error coin collectors. Repunched mint marks were more common in older coins, and finding one in a 1996 penny is extraordinary. Now imagine all these errors: off-center strike, double die obverse, die crack, clipped planchette, and a repunched mint mark appearing together on one coin, and you begin to realize the statistical improbability and thus the immense value. But what makes this even more exciting is the possibility that there are more such coins out there waiting to be found. Mint errors often occur in batches, meaning several coins struck within a short time frame can have similar issues, especially if the equipment was malfunctioning or the coin dies were misaligned. The US Mint produces billions of pennies each year, so a few slipping through the cracks is not entirely out of the question. However, finding one with the exact combination of errors that this $17 million penny exhibits is like winning the lottery several times over. This particular coin's provenance also adds to its value. Originally found in a roll of circulated coins, it passed through several collectors' hands, each recognizing its unique traits and rarity. Eventually, it was authenticated and graded by a top-tier grading service, which assigned it a high mint state grade despite its striking anomalies, a testament to how well preserved it remained over the years. This grade further validated its value, as condition plays a critical role in determining a coin's worth. The media attention and collector demand surrounding this penny drove its price at private auction to an astonishing $17 million, setting a record that left even seasoned experts speechless. Such coins become more than just collector's items, they become legends, artifacts of history that embody both human error and the thrilling unpredictability of coin minting. Let's also talk about the psychological factor that drives prices of error coins through the roof. Human beings are fascinated by the rare and unusual. When you add the official government aspect, that this was minted by the US Treasury, it becomes a sanctioned anomaly, a legal accident that made it into circulation. For many collectors, owning such a coin is like possessing a piece of minting history, a mistake that should not have happened but somehow did. That narrative, that story, fuels intense competition among collectors, driving up the value even further. And when the supply is practically zero, because no other coin with this precise combination of errors has been found, the price climbs into the stratosphere. Even beyond the collector community, such stories grab headlines and inspire everyday people to look at their pocket change a little more closely. Social media posts, YouTube videos, and articles about valuable pennies continue to go viral, encouraging treasure hunts in loose change drawers, piggy banks, and old coin jars. The dream that your common penny could be worth millions isn't just fantasy. This 1996 D penny proves it can happen. It ignites curiosity and hope, and that emotional charge is priceless. Let's not forget the educational value here too. Coins like the $17 million 1996 D penny offer a masterclass in minting errors. They teach us about how coins are produced, the mechanics behind die creation, planchet preparation, and striking, and how human or mechanical error at any of these stages can result in anomalies. They also highlight the role of grading organizations, whose expert evaluations determine whether a coin is a legitimate error or post-mint damage. For aspiring numismatists, understanding these differences is crucial. Knowing what to look for, doubling in text, signs of die breaks, unusual edges, misaligned strikes, and peculiar mint marks can make the difference between spotting a valuable coin and overlooking a treasure. So, the next time you get change back from a store or open that old coin jar gathering dust in your closet, take a moment to inspect those pennies. Pay attention to the date, mint mark, condition, and any strange markings or features. That 1 cent could be the next multi-million-dollar discovery. Remember, the 1996 D penny looked like any other at first glance, but closer inspection revealed an astonishing array of minting mistakes, a perfect storm of errors that turned it into one of the most expensive and coveted coins in the world. With rumors of other similar coins possibly still out there, perhaps in old bank rolls or inherited collections, there's never been a better time to start your coin hunt. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, let this $17 million penny be your inspiration to dig deeper, look closer, and never underestimate the power of a small coin. Stay tuned, because in our upcoming videos we'll continue exploring more error coins, historical rarities, and unexpected treasures hiding in plain sight. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss the next big discovery. Until then, keep hunting and happy collecting. World of rare coins and hidden treasures you might just have lying around in your pocket change, so if you love surprising coin stories, make sure to stick around because today's episode dives deep into one of the most intriguing and valuable coins ever to shock the numismatic community, the 2006 D 1 cent penny from the United States. A coin with a face value of just 1 cent but an estimated worth of a staggering $82 million due to its rare mint errors, unique characteristics, and the endless possibilities surrounding its production flaws that make it one of the most talked about coins in modern collecting history. And by the end of this video, you might be looking through your coin jar with a magnifying glass and a lot more hope than ever before, because this coin is a perfect example of how one tiny mistake can turn a regular coin into a legendary piece of American monetary history. So let's take a deep dive into everything that makes this 2006 D Lincoln penny not just valuable but absolutely extraordinary. Starting with its background, the 2006 D penny was minted at the Denver Mint, one of the primary facilities responsible for producing billions of coins every year. And although most 2006 D pennies are worth exactly 1 cent, a very small number of these coins have emerged with such astonishing minting errors that they've become the stuff of legends. And this isn't just some internet rumor or numismatic myth. Some of these coins have been confirmed and appraised by experts and are now considered among the most valuable coins to ever come from a modern minting facility. Now, what kind of errors could possibly make a simple penny worth over $80 million, you might ask, and the answer lies in the intricate process of minting coins, where a single oversight or flaw can result in something exceptionally rare and collectible. In the case of the 2006 D penny, We're talking about multiple possible errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, missing design elements, improper planchets, die clashes, and even mint mark anomalies. Any one of these on their own can make a coin stand out, but when several of these errors occur on a single specimen, the value can skyrocket beyond imagination. For instance, there have been reports of 2006 D pennies with a double die obverse, where Lincoln's features and inscriptions such as "In God We Trust" or "Liberty" appear visibly double due to a misalignment in the die during the striking process. This kind of error isn't just rare, it's visually striking and immediately noticeable to even the casual observer, making it highly desirable to collectors who often pay astronomical prices to own such a piece. But that's just the beginning, because some of these pennies have also been found struck on planchets meant for foreign coins or other denominations. Imagine finding a penny that was mistakenly struck on a dime or even a nickel planchet. This drastically alters the weight, thickness, and coloration of the coin, creating a numismatic oddity that's instantly recognized by experts and appraisers as one of a kind, and such mismatches can drive prices into the millions, especially when the error is confirmed and well documented. Then there's the off-center strike, where the design is not properly aligned with the blank metal disc, causing parts of the coin's design to be missing or partially visible. Off-center errors, especially those that still show the full date and mint mark, are among the most collected minting flaws and can be worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands depending on severity. And now, what really sets the $82 million 2006 D penny apart is the claim that a specific example of this coin exhibited not just one but multiple dramatic errors, including a missing mint mark, which in and of itself is extremely rare for a 2006 penny, considering that mint marks are a standard part of modern coinage and their absence usually indicates either a filled die error or a dramatic mishap during the die production process. Furthermore, the material used for this coin has also been brought into question, with experts suspecting that some of these error coins were possibly struck on experimental or transitional planchets not intended for general circulation, and if true, this would place the coin in an elite category of transitional error coins, a classification that has historically yielded some of the most valuable sales in coin auction history. And then there are die clashes, another fascinating error type where the dies strike each other without a planchet in between, leaving behind ghost-like images of design elements on the coin's surfaces where they shouldn't be, and the 2006 D penny reportedly showing evidence of die clash along with doubling and mint mark anomalies would be considered a numismatic trifecta, further compounding its rarity and price potential. Now, while the $82 million valuation might sound unbelievable to some, it's important to note that the value of a coin is not solely based on its intrinsic material worth, which for a penny is of course minimal, but rather on the rarity, demand, historical significance, and the presence of unique features that make it stand out as a true collectible. And in the case of this penny, all those boxes are checked with bold ink, because collectors, museums, and high-end investors are constantly on the lookout for unique pieces that tell a story, and the story behind a minting error that combines several rare features into a single coin, especially one that slipped past modern minting quality controls, is a tale worth paying millions for. And if you're wondering whether such a coin could really go unnoticed by the US Mint and enter circulation, remember that even with modern technology, the sheer volume of coins produced annually means that occasional anomalies do make it into the hands of the public. And sometimes those anomalies turn out to be record-breaking discoveries, and in fact, many of the most valuable coins in American history were found not in museums or collections but by everyday people like you who took the time to look closely at their change. And that's why stories like this are so powerful. They remind us that hidden treasure might actually be in our hands right now. And the legend of the 2006 D penny worth $82 million continues to grow as more collectors and experts weigh in, some asserting that this coin is a once-in-a-century find, while others believe there may be more like it out there still unaccounted for. And that's where the excitement builds, because each 2006 D penny now becomes a potential lottery ticket for collectors and enthusiasts, leading to renewed interest and a frenzy of activity in the market for modern era coins. And while not every 2006 D penny will turn out to be worth millions, the possibility alone has energized the numismatic world and reminded us all that coins are more than just currency. They are artifacts of human effort, machines, chance, and occasionally, serendipitous mistakes that turn the mundane into the magnificent. So the next time you're handed a penny, especially a 2006 D, don't just toss it into a tip jar or coin dish. Take a moment, examine it carefully, look for doubling, check the edges, inspect the mint mark, weigh it if you can, and who knows? You might just stumble upon a multi-million-dollar marvel hiding in plain sight. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the story of the 2006 D1 cent coin and its jaw-dropping $82 million value due to errors, mint mark mysteries, and production anomalies, then make sure you're subscribed to the channel, hit the like button, and turn on notifications because we've got more incredible coin stories coming your way. And as always, thanks for watching and happy treasure hunting. The incredible story of a tiny coin that could change your life if you're lucky enough to find it, the legendary 1991 cent penny from the United States that's worth not just a penny, but a jaw-dropping $64 million due to a rare and fascinating combination of errors, mistakes, and a very special mint mark anomaly. This video isn't just another typical coin breakdown, it's a full journey into the hidden world of numismatic mysteries where we uncover how one small copper coin defied its 1 cent face value and instead became one of the most highly coveted collector's items in American currency history. So buckle up, because this isn't just about a coin, it's about how history, minting technology, human error, rarity, and collector demand intersected to turn an ordinary 1990 penny into a $1 million marvel. Now, the story begins with the standard issue Lincoln cent minted in the year 1990, a year when billions of pennies were produced by the U.S. Mint, over 6.8 billion from the Philadelphia Mint alone and more than 4.9 billion from Denver, so at first glance, nothing would seem particularly unusual about finding a 1990 penny in your pocket change. It has the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, just like every cent since 1909, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, which had been in use since 1959, so on the surface, these coins were just part of the ordinary currency flow. However, a specific error involving the absence of the S mint mark on proof coins intended to be struck at the San Francisco Mint turned one particular version of the 1990 penny into a legend. Typically, proof coins, which are not made for general circulation but rather for collectors, are struck at the San Francisco Mint and bear an S mint mark. However, in an astonishing mistake that stunned numismatists and shocked the coin-collecting world, some 1990 proof pennies were struck without that all-important S, meaning they looked exactly like regular Philadelphia Mint coins, which do not bear a mint mark at all. This created a conundrum because the only way to identify these ultra-rare no-S proof coins was by their mirror-like surfaces and razor-sharp details typical of proof strikes. Despite having no mint mark, these coins were not ordinary circulation strikes. That single error, the missing S on a proof coin, is what led to the discovery of the ultra-rare 1990 no-S proof Lincoln cent, which, because of its scarcity, perfection of strike, and collector demand, has fetched astronomically high prices at auctions, with a few pristine examples even valued or sold at over $64 million under rare collector-driven bidding wars. But how does a mint mark error occur in the first place? Well, mint marks are added to the dies by hand or machine before production, and for proof coins, the dies are carefully prepared and polished to create a brilliant finish. In 1990, somehow, one of the proof dies intended for the San Francisco Mint was used without ever receiving the THES mint mark punch. This error escaped the quality control systems of the U.S. Mint, possibly due to the similarity of appearance between Philadelphia and San Francisco dies without magnification, or because only a very small number of these no-S dies were used before the mistake was caught. That tiny window allowed a few proof coins, possibly only a few hundred, to be struck and packaged into proof sets before discovery. For collectors, the rarity of a mint error like this, especially on a proof coin, is comparable to discovering a rare gemstone, because proof coins are supposed to represent the highest quality and accuracy of mint production. Any deviation, especially one as significant as a missing mint mark, skyrockets the coin's value due to the combination of visual perfection and rarity. Beyond the mint mark error, other factors play into the extreme value of a 1990 penny. Errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, planchette errors, and transitional compositions are all known in the world of Lincoln cents, and any combination of these with the missing mint mark could increase value exponentially. For example, if a 1990 penny was struck with a double die obverse and also lacked the S mint mark, it would become essentially a one-of-a-kind coin, and collectors might pay anything to add it to their collection. Even subtle variations like strike doubling, die polishing marks, or retained cut errors can raise the coin's desirability when combined with the already legendary no-S proof status. And let's not forget about the psychological factor, the coin story. Every coin tells a story, and the 1990 NOS Lincoln Cent tells a story of a silent slip-up at one of the most tightly monitored institutions in the country, the U.S. Mint, where only a few misplaced or mispunched dies led to one of the rarest proof coins ever discovered. That mystique, that air of forbidden rarity, adds an emotional and psychological value to the coin that can't be measured in metal or minting cost. It adds a human drama to a cold copper alloy. Now, how can you tell if you have the $64,000,1990 penny? First, if you own a 1990 proof set, check the penny under a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. If it has no mint mark, look closer. Does it have that glassy mirror finish and frosted details? Does it seem sharper and shinier than a normal coin? If so, you might be looking at a NOS proof. Of course, authentication is key, and sending the coin to a top-tier grading service like PCGS or NGC is essential for confirming the coin's identity and condition. The best examples of these coins, those graded PR69 DCAM or PR70 DCAM, meaning virtually flawless deep cameo proofs, are where the real money lies. Because demand is so high and examples are so few, the market for this coin is fierce, and collectors are willing to pay astronomical amounts, especially when bidding at elite auctions where numismatic history is being made. Just think, something struck in 1990, something so small and unassuming as a penny, has reached values normally associated with fine art, rare diamonds, or historic artifacts. And the magic is that this coin may still be out there, unrecognized in someone's forgotten proof set, sitting in a coin collection handed down through generations, or tucked into a drawer by someone who had no idea what they had. So if you're a collector, or just someone with a box of coins lying around, it's absolutely worth taking the time to check your 1990 pennies, especially those in proof sets. The financial possibilities are mind-blowing, but so is the historical significance. You could be holding a piece of American numismatic history in your hands. The combination of factors, mint era, proof status, ultra-low mintage, collector fascination, and perfect condition, come together like lightning in a bottle to create one of the most valuable modern coins ever struck. And while only a few of these $64 million coins are known to exist, the possibility that more are out there, waiting to be discovered by a sharp-eyed collector or lucky novice, is part of what makes coin collecting so thrilling. It's not just a hobby, it's a hunt, an adventure, and sometimes, a life-changing jackpot. So keep searching, keep checking, and who knows? You might be the next person to stumble upon one of the greatest US coin treasures ever minted. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss another deep dive into the world of rare coins and unbelievable discoveries that could be hiding in your change jar right now.